on the 2nd day of December 2022, I handled the case for the appellant, the young people of Warri. I was instructed and I wrote a letter to INEC immediately, attaching the judgment and also asking them to implement the judgment before the conduct of the 2023 general elections. INEC subsequently called for a stakeholders meeting. At that meeting, the explanation INEC gave was that election is a process. They had about 9 items on the timetable. They had done about 8 at that time. It was only voting that was remaining. Therefore, it was practically impossible for them to implement the judgment before the conduct of the 2023 elections. And with the understanding of stakeholders at that meeting, it was agreed that the implementation should be done immediately after the 2023 elections. Now, after the elections, it took INEC months to take any steps there in respect of the implementation. So the judges and Orobos went to Abuja to protest, which led to a meeting between the leadership of INEC and the stakeholders, and it was agreed that the process of implementation should start. Subsequently, meetings took place. There was a field work. Now, after the field work, the Shekris went to court, obtained an interim order to stop the process without telling the court that the process was the Supreme Court ordered process. And that delayed for several months before that order was set aside and a field report was submitted. Now, some of us thought that haven't presented the interim field report and observations haven't been done as requested by INEC. INEC would take the next step, which is to engage with the stakeholders and address genuine issues that may have been raised and conclude the process. Because as noted by one of you, without the in compliance with the judgment of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, at this moment, there are no electoral wards and polling units. And these are the foundations of any electoral process. So what it simply means is that there is a risk that there will be no election in the Warri Federal Constituency, that is the State House of Assembly, the Federal Constituency, and of course, maybe the Delta South Central District may be affected in the 2027 election. So my appeal on this platform is for INEC to immediately take necessary steps to engage stakeholders. Some groups have made observations. Those observations need to be attended to, then release the final report of the delineation so that the Warri Federal Constituency can be part and parcel of the electoral process in the 2027 elections.